So the first question is yes, trauma can be passed down. And so what people really mean when they say that, it's not like your kid's going to have the same traumatic experience that you had. It means that the gene expression, right, is carried on. And so you may have like symptoms of trauma, but maybe never experienced trauma. Like if you had a caregiver who had a traumatic experience. And then we talk about like historical trauma, right? Where it's like a collective group of people that have experienced like similar trauma. And they've done a ton of research. I won't get into that, but they've done it with like Native Americans in Minnesota with Holocaust, not the survivors, but their children of the survivors of the Holocaust. And so this has been very researched. And so what you do and what I always encourage people is like, hey, if trauma can be passed down, healing can be passed down, right? And so it's, you get your healing, you learn new ways to cope with things, you learn new behaviors. All of those things are taught down, right? Like they're passed down to the next generation when we're parenting. And so it's just a start. I think when we talk about historical trauma, what's really hard is, how do you heal from historical trauma if it's not historical, right? It's still happening, right? As Black people, like we're still hearing about Black people being murdered, by the police, all sorts of things like racial injustice going on. And so historical trauma is not really historical for us. It's very much present.